Hello. Hello.
Audio check 1 2 3.
I'm here.
Hello.
Hey.
Audio check 1 2 3. Welcome along, ladies and gentlemen, to the Motive Racing YouTube channel. We're here for the final race of the Formula 1 Season 4, Season 2 on the Codemasters Formula 1 game here on the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5. My name's Andy and I'm joined in the commentary box by my usual partner in the commentary box tonight, Game for Life, former racer in the Formula 1 League here at Motive, turned commentator. Game for Life. We're here at Interlagos for what's always one of the more exciting events on the Formula 1 calendar, and I'm really looking forward to this. I don't know about yourself. Well, it's
I'm having a bit of a cold, so.
oh, you got a cold today. Oh, he's got a bit of a cold tonight, so he's going to be. I do apologise, my controller just died and it's on borrowed time, so let me just plug this in. One sec. This might go again. And we're back on once again. So the controller using just the last little bit of its battery there, but I think it's now safe. I think it's plugged in properly and I think we are good to go. So 19 cars out on the grid here for the final round of the season, and what a season it's been. Obviously we saw Joram wrapping up the championship a long way from home for this season. This man here in the Red Bull has been the class of the field. Himself and his dad Raki, both in the Red Bulls this season, the Constructors Champions here at Motive Racing. I want to say a massive congratulations to these two boys, to father and son, for taking the Constructors Championship here for the Motive F1 League here on the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5. Massive hats off to these guys. I'm sure they're going to want to go out with a bang here in this final race of the season. We're 3 minutes into the 18-minute qualifying session as the times are now coming in thick and fast. But yeah, I think we're going to have a very exciting end to the season. Interlagos is one of those tracks where it's easy to keep up in the slipstream, and with a bit of straight line speed you can really set yourself up nicely down the long straight coming out of Yunchao down towards turn 1, which leads into the centre S's. But having said that, that middle part of the lap, sort of from sector 2 all the way through until towards the end of basically sector 2 of the lap is very, very tricky, and you need to have a very balanced car for that part of the track. So it's going to be a difficult one for tonight in terms of the setups, but let's see what wins out over the course of tonight. Oh, as we see Joram's there, put it into the wall. He's very lucky there not to have got terminal damage on that car. The champion of the Motive Racing's F1 League here, maybe celebrating a little bit early. Let's hope he's not cracked open the champagne corks and started drinking before the end of the season, because he's missing his front wing there, and that has taken a hefty whack into the wall, and he's got big damage on the front of that Red Bull car, so he's going to need to limp round and get that back to the pits as soon as he possibly can. Well, that is not what Joram would have wanted in any way, shape or form. So he's going to have to bring that back round to the pit lane, but nevertheless, 5 minutes into the session, Nem Vidic currently man top of the leaderboard there, looking very quick so far in this session. He's pulled off to the side, coming through on the exit of Verstappen corner. I don't actually know the name of it, so I'm just going to call it Verstappen corner, but looks like they're all just loitering around a little bit here. I don't know exactly what's going on here, but nevertheless, we move. It's Nem Vidic.
A lot of people qualifying on the mediums.
Yeah, we're just putting up the tyre telemetry here to see exactly what the state of play is. So Nemvidic has done his fastest lap on the soft tyres, Max GT 2/10 off on the mediums, Mr. Bastel and Shugs both on the soft tyres. We've got Aldrich Avist on. That was another hiccup there. Oh my god, my hiccups are literally like killing me right now. But Aldrich Avist there in P5 just on the exit of the pits at the moment. He's currently 3/10 off of Max GT, who's the fastest medium runner in this session so far. You've got Derby Bay in P6. He's currently just over half a second off, with the top time being set by Nem Vidic. RDJ in the soft tyres. He's currently 6/10 off for the fastest time. Matty Pitt writes in Discord, why am I on auto gears? You should have a choice. Matty Pit. It shouldn't be forced upon you what type of assist you use in this series. It is actually, you do have an option. You can choose whether or not to run auto gears or manual gears. So if you go to your settings, you should actually have a choice. You know, you do have to actually agree to having the automatic gears. So you can actually change it in your settings. If you go to your settings, you should be able to change that. It's up to you. It's up to you at your discretion what you have on your gears. But anyway, so currently 7 minutes into this session, top 4 all in the pits. Aldrich Avis is on an outlap. Falguest is also out there at the moment. Falguest driving in the McLaren tonight, obviously with the absence of DJ Phil and Game for Life in the box alongside me at the moment. I want to also say a big shout out to DJ Phil, with the two in the McLaren, Falguest and RDJ, both taking his place tonight. But DJ Phil unfortunately had some heartbreaking news for himself earlier this week. His father passed away on Tuesday morning, I think it was. So I just want to say to Phil and to all his family, we're thinking of you, mate. Hopefully you're well. If you do end up watching this back, or if you're watching now, in the unlikely event you are watching this now, we're thinking of you, and hopefully yourself and your family are coping as best as you can in this difficult time. But huge shout out to DJ Phil. We are missing you tonight, mate, very much. But at the moment, RDJ and Falguest flying the flag for the McLarens, as we can see Falguest here just about to start flying that. Oh no, he's coming into the pits. Okay, so he's maybe just not quite got the setup where he wants it at the moment. But Aldrich Avis is on a flying lap. Doesn't look like he's on a very quick one though. He's 3 seconds off at it. 3 seconds off at the fastest time. So that's certainly not going to be a purple time here from Aldrich Avis. RDJ's on an outlap. Yeah, RDJ just coming over the line to start a flying lap here, so onto a lap he comes. The Mutts Nuts is out there at the moment on an outlap. Also Horatio, we've got Raki on a flying lap. There's still Raki can do here. Constructors chat. Oh no, he's well off. Aussie Albie coming out of Young Sal out onto the start finish straight. What can Aussie Albie do here in the Mercedes Benz? Up towards the line he comes. Can Aussie Albie get himself into the top 10 maybe as he crosses over the line? Not at the moment, stays in P15 for the time being. Made his F1 debut here at Motive last week at Imola on the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5. He's a regular racer on Project Cars 2 here at Motive. Great to see him out on track in this Formula 1 league. Really cutting his teeth into some action here. But still yet to really show his full potential. We know Aussie Albie's a quick driver. At the moment, he's not showing exactly what he's got in his locker. As we see. Oh, look at that. Joram has absolutely blown them out of the water there. We expect no less from this man. He's lucky to still be in this session. Very lucky not to have picked up some major damage for his big whack with the wall earlier on in this session. He really got away with that one scot-free, but he's just posted the fastest lap of the session there. But Aldrich Avis has got within 0.2 of a second of him on the medium tyres. So Aldrich Avis also flying. These two have put on a really good show the last few weeks. So maybe we'll see a rekindling of that rivalry that we've seen over the course of this season, as we have now got 20 cars in the session. So we've got a full grid here for the final race of the season for the Formula 1 League. Guys, if you haven't already, if you are one of the drivers, or if you're not one of the drivers, if in fact you are watching this as a pundit, as a viewer, as a friend, family member or otherwise associate of any of the drivers out on the track, if you're watching this and you think, you know what, I think I could do better than these guys, I think I could be up there, then by all means go to www.motiveracing.com and join the Discord server. Go to the sign up form, go to the section on the Discord which says #join the leagues, and fill in that little form which can basically just get you a ticket to the grid. And I think we're going to try and run 2 tiers for next season. So tier 2 it'll still be running F1 cars. We won't have F2 because they're diabolical to drive, but we'll have F2 running with F1 cars at 6:30. We'll have F1 following on at 7:45. We'll be broadcasting both live to the channel as per usual, but the aim is to have 2 tiers. Hopefully we can make it happen, and if we do get enough sign-ups, we'll probably run a time trial or something and get people to put some laps in and see exactly what's up. But we see Aldrich Avis coming into the pits, Joram and Nemvilic both sat in the pits as well, and Nemvilic doing a really good job here in this session on those soft tyres. He's ahead of Horatio, who's sat in 4th at the moment. Horatio is on a slower lap at this point. We've got Shug's Life has gone into 3rd place. Yeah, lovely lap there from Shug's Life. He's got within half a second of the provisional pole sitter Joram at the moment. Nemvedic and Horatio both in the pits. Rednas is still out there at this point in the race. Matty Pitt's just gone into P3, so very nice up there from Matty Pitt. Mr. Basil, yep, absolutely. Goes 3/10 quicker than his personal best and moves himself up into 5th place. Rednas coming through the middle sector of the lap at the moment. Max GT in the pits. The Mutts Nuts is currently occupying the final top 10 spot at this point in the session. What can the Mutts Nuts do here? Can he improve a little bit? He's half a second down on his personal best, so I don't think it's going to be where he needs it to be at the moment. He's wide there, coming down the exit of Junksal, and that's certainly not going to get butter him any crumpets at this point. Derby Bay on the run at the moment, and Derby Bay's on a very quick lap here as he comes up towards the line. Can he go on pole here? He all close. 0.2 of a second shy of the fastest time being set by Joram. Derby Bay absolutely flying out here tonight, here in Brazil for the final round of the Formula 1 season here at Motive. Aldrich Avis in the pits. He's definitely not going to improve or get any better while sat in there, but is he going to be coming out of the pits, out onto the track? We'll have to wait and see, as looks like pretty much half the field is in the pits at the moment, and Shug's Life is now adding to that number of people in the pits. So the pits looking a bit overcrowded tonight, I've got to say. No, I think they should all be getting out on the track and, you know, making sure that they're you know, actually trying to live up to their potential rather than sitting in the pit lane. But hey, lots of people sitting in the pit lane tonight. Derby Bay on a flying lap at the moment. He's 7/10 down on his personal best though at this particular point in the night. You got Aldrich Avis there on an out lap at this point, as we see their Slapstream goes up into 2nd place. Slapstream joined as a late entry to this race here tonight, and he's really doing a good job there, putting himself provisionally on the front row of the grid alongside Joram. So that is absolutely phenomenal there from Slapstream, and he's only going to improve as this session goes on. So excellent stuff there. So Joram in the pits. Derby Bay is just on his way out of the pits now. You got Matty Pitt in the pits, Shug's Life in the pits, Nemvedic in the pits, Rednas in the pits, Max GT in the pits, the Mutts Nuts in the pits, RDJ in the pits, Bennett's out on the track, Falguest is in the pits, the Greaves in the pits, Little Greavy's on an out lap at the moment, Racky's just starting a flying lap at this particular point, as we see Ozzy Albi also sat in the pit lane, and Joram in the pits as well. But Slapstream's out there on the track. Let's see what he can do as he's coming towards the end of the middle sector of the lap at the moment. I don't think it's going to... No, he's 5 seconds off of his personal best, so it's not going to be a personal best, and it's certainly not going to be the fastest time of the session, as we see Derby Bay sat in the pits. Oh, there's a McLaren coming out of the pits. That's either Falguest or RDJ emerging from the pits. What about Slapstream? He's coming into the pits now, so he's obviously maximised his potential for the time being, as we see Aldrich Avist on his personal best here. Look at this, Game for Life. He's a 10th up on his personal best coming through the middle sector. This could be a good lap here from Aldrich Avist. As he's just coming here through the middle, tricky middle section of the lap now. This is the corner where Hamilton obviously made that famous pass on Glock to take the championship back in 2008 and wrestling it from the grass when Felipe Massa thought he had it pretty much done. He thought he was out of the woods, he thought he had made it, and then all of a sudden it got snatched away in the last second. But we see Aldrich Avis there coming into the pits, so that's him done for the session. Lil Greavy moves up into 3rd. Yeah, Little Greavy getting himself to within 0.2 of a second of Joram, so excellent stuff there from Little Greavy. So Joram's just on his out lap at the moment. He's maybe just going for one more run here in this session, going to try and rub salt in those wounds, try and make it even worse for the other drivers out on the track, knock them while they're down.
Two Dutch and Red Bull drivers champion.
That's very true. It's a very good point. Although Verstappen wasn't quite as much of a runaway champion as Joram. Joram dominated the season. Yeah, but basically the second half of the season, I think he took a lot of wins in a row. But he's just coming in towards the final corner of this current particular outlap that he's on at this very moment in time. and he'll be starting another flying lap, and it could be 1, it could be 2, maybe even 3 more flying laps if he really gets his skates on over this next sort of final part of this qualifying session. Then who knows, we might be seeing Joram put in a couple of extra lap times before the end of this session. Shug's Life has got within 4. Oh no, Shug's Life has lost it. Shug's Life has put it into the polystyrene barrier there. Look at that, the advertising hoarding goes fly. Oh my god, oh my god, what's he doing? As he just, yeah, I don't know what was going on there with Shug's Life, but he just absolutely drove all over the road there, coming on the exit of the S's. And, well, thank God that ghosting is on, because if it wasn't, I think there would have been a simply catastrophic incident there involving Shug's Life and some unfortunate bystanders who were just in the wrong place at the wrong time. Nothing they could do. But RDJ coming through the S's, and obviously the incident's well cleared by the time he gets to the scene, so no issues, no dramas, no problems there. Two McLarens both out on the track at the moment. In fact, only Max GT's, in fact, no, Max GT's emerging from the pits now, so it looks like everybody's going to be out on the track. Yeah, then Vidic is just retired from the session, so he obviously isn't going to improve his lap time being retired from the session, and I imagine they're going to try and recover that car to the pits and recover what's left of it and try and put it back together again. But who knows whether or not that's going to be redeemable at this point. Matty Pitts also crashed out of the session. He's done for him this session. We got double wave yellow flags through sector 1, 2 and 3, so double wave yellow flags galore here. As what's Joram doing? Joram is coming up towards the line. He's not on an improved lap, but he will get one more run, so the provisional pollsters is going to have a chance to try and extend his margin. With Shug Life in the pits, it means that Joram has got a likely chance of taking pole, but can Slapstream, Little Greavy or Derby Bay do anything about it? Aldrich Avist on an out lap, so yeah, he's about to start a flying lap here, as is Mr. Basil, who's pretty close, only 3/10 off for the fastest time. Oh, Bennett's gone into P3, look at this. Bennett has got within 0.04 of a second of Joram. He'll get one more run in this session after this lap that he's currently on at this particular precise moment in time, as he's there getting past McLaren there of either RDJ or Falguest. But let's keep an eye on Bennett LCSC, see what he gets up to over the course of the remainder of this qualifying session for the final round of the Formula 1 League here at Motive. As we see double waved yellow flags through sector 1 at this particular point in time. But Shug's Life obviously done for the session. He's not going to improve from the pits. Derby Bay also sat in the pits, certainly not going to get any better for him in there. What about Slapstream goes on pole, look at that, and Joram goes and knocks him off the top spot. What drama here at the end of this session. Slapstream took pole from Joram and thought, he must have thought he had it, he must have thought he was done, he must have thought he got it and he had managed it, and then all of a sudden no, Joram comes and gets the top spot once again, and Bennett coming into the pits, he's not going to improve, so he's going to start in P4 in this session. So oh, what a shame there. Obviously must have hit the wall or something at the end of that session there. Just after setting the pole time, Joram came over and said, no, you're not having pole position, son, it's mine for the taking. So Joram looking like he'll start this one on pole position ahead of Slapstream. Shug's Life is done for the session. Bennett into the pits. I can't imagine that things are going to get much better for him whilst he's sat in there. But Mr. Grieve in 5th, the Little Grievy 6th, Max GT in 7th, followed by WA in 8th, then Aldrich Avist and Mr. Basil rounding out the top 10. Mr. Basil obviously has crashed out of the session, but he looks like he'll hold on for that P10 in this session. Matty Pitt 12th, Nemvidic 13th, then RDJ 14th, followed by Horatio in 15th, Rednas 16th, and Mutsnut 17th, Falguest 18th, Raki 19th, and Aussie Albi in 20th place here in this qualifying session. Definitely not seen the best of Aussie Albi over the course of this qualifying session. Who knows, we might be able to see an improved performance over the course of this Brazilian Grand Prix here at Motive on the PlayStation 4 and 5 on the Codemasters Formula 1 game. But that is that then for the session. The 18-minute qualifying session has concluded. For some reason we've got a timer that says 1 minute and 10 seconds. I can't imagine why, because I can't imagine that anybody has taken 1 minute and 55 seconds to do a lap around this track, when you consider the fact that the timer is 3 minutes from the moment that the qualifying ends to the moment that we quit out. But there we go, look, the session has now ended. So the leaderboard will pop up on the screen and we'll be able to see the exact placings here for this qualifying session. Joram takes pole by just under 0.2 of a second to Slapstream. Shug's Life in third place, 0.3 off the not the provisional pole time, the actual pole time. It's set in stone now. Bennett LCFC in fourth, followed by the Grieve Little Greavy, Max GT in seventh with Derby Bay eighth, then Aldrich Avis, Mr. Basil completing the top 10, Magfire, Matty Pitt, Nemvidic, RDJ. We can't see the rest because we can't scroll down. I've tried this many times, it doesn't work. Yeah, Aldrich Avis, to be fair to him, that's a good lap on the mediums. He's only 0.6 off, so he could be a big player if he can keep himself close.
I think the strategy for some of the behind teeth there will be just actually just if you get a good start, you have a good advantage if the people behind you.
Absolutely, but it is a very short run to the first corner at Interlagos. We must not forget it's only a couple hundred metres down to the first corner, so there isn't really much opportunity to make the most of a good start. I think on the medium tyres he's just in a way that's good for the medium tyres because the reduced traction off the line isn't going to cost him so much as it ordinarily would, you know, in a normal situation. So Aldrich Avis just needs to keep himself in there or thereabouts, needs to keep himself close to the lead. If he can keep himself within sort of 5 seconds of the lead, you know, on the opening lap, keep himself in there and make some passes, I reckon he could be a player for this win. He will have the strategic wild card over the course of this first stint, and he just needs to keep himself there. He needs to just survive, basically. He's about to be thrown into a bear pit with a load of drivers with much faster tyres. He's just got to adapt and survive and try and make the most of it, because nobody else is going to look after him. But formation lap here on this for this Brazilian Grand Prix here at Motive Racing for the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 platforms here on the Codemasters Formula 1 game. Big thank you to all the drivers for watching this post-race. Hopefully you enjoy the action and you know, whatever. But anyway, so the drivers just warming their tyres up here on this formation lap. Joram, the champion of the Formula 1 League here at Motive, leading us around. Slapstream in second place, followed by Shug's Life third, Bennett fourth, the Grieve fifth, the Little Grievy sixth, Max GT seventh, Derby Bay eighth, Aldrich Avis ninth, Mr. Basil 10th, Magfire 11th. Oh, Mr. Basil and Magfire both retired on this formation lap. Matty Pitt 12th, Nemvidic 13th, RDJ 14th, Horatio 15th, Redness 16th, the Nuts 17th, Falgast 18th, Raki 19th, Aussie Albi 20th. We've got some comments coming in here on the YouTube stream right now. We've got Aidan Black says, "Go Matthew Pitt." He's clearly getting behind Matty Pitt at the moment, starting in P12 in this one. Who knows what Matty Pitt might be able to do here tonight. Raki says, "Thanks for the great commentating." This is thank you, mate. Oh no, you're gonna make thank you. Alison, sorry, not Alison, I do apologise. Alison Garrison puts a spam message there in the YouTube comments section. Get out, go away. Just never mind. Right, Corey Smith, otherwise known as, can't say. Oh, who cares? Beam Basher there in the comments says, "Sorry, can't make it tonight. PlayStation is broke. Hopefully getting it fixed tomorrow, Andy. Hopefully we will see you on the grid as soon as possible, Corey. Maybe in the new year. Maybe we might still be here." But Joram and Slapstream on the front row of the grid. Shug's Life, Bennett LCFC on the second row, followed by the Grieve and Little Greavy, then Max GT, Derby Bay, Aldrich Avis, Mr. Basil, Magfire, Matty Pitt, Nemvidic, RDJ, Horatio Redness, the Mutts Nuts, Falgus, Raki and Aussie Albi, as the lights are about to come on here at Interlagos for the final round of the Formula 1 season here at Motive on the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 Season 2. And here we go. Are the lights coming on? We're not getting a graphic, but I assume they must be coming on because I can hear the engine revs rising here. And it's lights out and away we go. And it's a good start from the front too. Slapstream slightly better, but I think Joram's going to cover him off. No, they're side by side in towards turn one. Slapstream trying to put the pressure on. Joram having to go wide here. And Slapstream is down the inside for the S's there, up into the lead of the race. Bennett LCFC just behind Joram there. Shug's Life, a Little Greavy looking to the outside. Max GT, as you see, Matty Pitt has got ahead of Magfire and Mr. Basil. Mr. Basil dropping down the field like a stone on this opening lap down to P13. It's been passed by RDJ as well, as we see there. Aussie Albi getting ahead of Raki up into 19th place, but Slapstream leads to ahead of Joram and Bennett all over the back of these guys at the moment. Is there a crash? What's happened? Oh, RDJ, they're losing out to Magfire by the looks of it. The Mutts Nuts has gone ahead of Red Nass, and Red Nass has dropped down to the back of the pack. Didn't see. Oh, Red Nass has just had a big moment there. That's why Red Nass is round there, and he's dropped well off at the train here on this opening lap of the race. So Red Nass has definitely had a bit of a nightmare there. As we see Falguest there getting ahead of Nemvidic up into 14th place. Great move there from Falguest. Racing in a McLaren tonight. Wanted to race in a Red Bull, but unfortunately couldn't because the two Constructors champions, Joam and Raki, both sporting the Red Bull as they have done throughout the course of this season. So I said to Falguest and RDJ, would you guys mind awfully jumping in the McLaren? And they duly obliged. So thank you very much, chaps, for that one. Matty Pitt getting ahead of Derby Bay up into 8th place. Mr. Basil's got ahead of the Grieve. That's because the Grieve's into the pits. So that's how that one came about, as Aldrich Avis has made the move on Shug's Life down the inside of turn 1. And he's now looking to try and get past Shug's Life here, probably get this move, make this move stick, as now Max GT is going to out drag Shug's Life down towards turn 3. Shug's Life though back down the inside of turn 3 and gets himself back up into 6th place there. Max is now under heavy pressure from Matty Pitt, as Matty Pitt's trying to get himself into the thick of this battle here for 5th place. But Aldrich Avis starting to try and, well, he's going to try and break away from these guys now. He's going to try and close in on the leaders. Slapstream, Joram and Bennett LCFC currently out in front, currently showing the way here in this one. Sorry, mate.
No.
Oh, sorry. We got lots of battles going on here throughout the pack, though. The pack pretty tightly bunched at this point, as we can see Slapstream's got a 3/10 of a second lead. Oh no, what's happened to Mr. Basil here? Mr. Basil is falling back here. He's down to 18th place. He's lost out to Nemvidic, the Mutts Nuts, Horatio and Raki, and Aussie Albi getting up into 17th place there as well. Max GT's got ahead of Shug's Life up into 6th place. And what's happened there in the background, we can just see there a Ferrari getting all sorts of out of shape. Into the pits comes the Ferrari, and presumably coming in for an early tyre change. Very early on though, to be fair. Very surprising to see that one coming about so early on in this race. Slapstream and Joram though out in front, and Joram this time around has DRS coming down towards this infamous corner where Verstappen and Hamilton came together, but nothing doing for Joram this occasion. Aldrich Avis trying to get ahead of Little Greavy if he... No, sorry, not Aldrich Avis, I do apologise. Little Greavy trying to get ahead of Bennett. Bennett's dropped off at the back of the front to Slapstream and Joam ever so slightly over this sort of second lap. And we see also Max GT is trying to get onto the back of Aldrich Avis, though Magfire very close on the back of Matty Pitt as well. Lots of cars battling in the mid-pack here. You've got the two McLarens behind Derby Bay of RDJ and Falguest. These two starting to gap Nemvidic a little bit in 12th place. The Mutts Nuts has cleared Horatio and is now trying to get onto the back of Nemvidic if he can. Raki on the back of Horatio. You've got Aussie Albi. Mr. Basil's falling off with these guys ever so slightly now after a turbulent first couple of laps, after a very strong qualifying session for him. Yeah, this surely got an opportunity here as Joram, the champion of the F1 League here at Motive, looking down the inside of Slapstream. Slapstream did a great job in the qualifying session, but Joram makes the move down the inside for the lead of the race. These two pretty close in the qualifying session. Joram seizes the upper hand here in the early stages of this race, and his rival for the race win, I said earlier on, you pointed it out, Game for Life, will probably be Aldrich Avist on those medium tyres. Aldrich Avist is already 3.5 seconds behind the race leader Joram, so at this point Joram looking good. He just needs to keep it cool and pump in these laps and try and make the most of his tyre advantage. Yeah, Little Greavy there making the move there ahead of Bennett LCFC up into 3rd place. The Grieve though, fastest man out on track in P18 on fresh soft tyres. So the Grieve, he's got some clean air at the moment and he's really pumping in the lap times at this point. Lap 4 of 36 here, still the early stages for the Brazilian Grand Prix on the PlayStation 4 and 5 here on the Codemasters Formula 1 game at Motive Racing, as we now see Slapstream making a move down the inside. Oh, he's looking, he's trying, he's probing, but nothing doing there. Aussie Albi's got ahead of Mr. Basil up into P16, making that move really impressively there in the foreground. You can see Horatio, the Mutts Nuts and Raki still fighting this out. Oh my goodness me, Horatio there all over the gaff as he gets out of shape there, and the Mutts Nuts also, in fact it was Mr. Basil, sorry, that got out of shape, and the Mutts Nuts looks like he's also had a moment at the same time, and those two drop down to the back of this quartet of drivers. But well, they drop off of Horatio, Raki and Aussie there, but now Mr. Basil and the Mutts Nuts side by side coming down onto the start-finish straight, as we see Magfire has made the move on Matty Pitt up into 7th place. What's happening with these two though as they're coming down towards turn 1? Oh, Aussie Albi looking to try and make the move, can't do it. Mr. Basil holds on. Magfire's got ahead of Max GT. Bennett's trying to get back ahead of Little Greavy, but look, Bennett's wide there and might be open to an attack here from Aldrich Avist. Aldrich Avist is going to look to the outside in towards turn 5. Can he make this all the way around the outside? Yes, he does. Aldrich Avist on those medium tyres tyres. Now only 2.5 seconds behind the race leader Slapstream, and Slapstream's got back ahead of Joram up into P1. So these two having a great little scrap out the front. Really excited to watch this one as it goes on, but Joram now has dropped off by about a second to the race leader, and Uldrik Avvist is really coming for these guys on those medium tyres, game for life.
Yeah, but yeah, Yellow when getting overtaken, he got pushed out from corner.
Yeah, definitely. He's got some DRS, I think, though. He's just about within that catchment. As we see, RDJ's got ahead of Derby Bay up into 9th place. Nicely done there, RDJ. What's going on here as we see Uldrik Avvist down the inside, a little Greavy into turn 1. He makes that move stick very nicely. And next up for him will be Joram, who's only just under 2 seconds up the road. What a drive from Uldrik Avvist from 9th on the grid on these medium tyres. Absolutely hats off to him. It's only going to get better for him as this stint wears on, because the medium tyres are much more durable than the softs. The softs are quicker, but as these softs wear out, the mediums will still be keeping pretty much their peak grip for another couple of laps. So Uldrik Avvist needs to really make hay while the sun shines, and the sun will shine on these tyres for much longer than they would on the soft tyres. So he's in a good position at the moment as we see Shug's Life getting ahead of Aussie Albi up into P17 in this race. But Slapstream's got about half second to Joram, and now Joram will see Uldrik Avvist really coming for him at the moment, and he knows he's got to get on with this, because if he doesn't get ahead of Slapstreams quickly, he'll find himself open to Uldrik Avvist very, very soon.
Something about the pit strategies, I think, like, oh, Bennett crashed.
Oh, Bennett LCFC's out of the race. Bennett LCFC has crashed out here on lap 6. That gives everyone a chance to make a free pit stop here. Slapstream and Joram, the two leaders coming in. Uldrik Avvist gambling here. A roll of the dice from him, staying out on the medium tyres. What about little Greavy? He's coming into the pits, as is Magfire, as is Matty Pitt, as is Max GT. Derby Bay stays out, striking a gamble. So Derby Bay trying to roll the dice and go for track position here. But everyone in the top 10 coming into the pits, barring Uldrik Avvist and Slapstream. And we see also Horatio rolling the dice, staying out. But he's not going to gain as much here, because Slapstream and Joram have already come out. In fact, no, Horatio is going to just about, I think, get ahead of them, or it's going to be close actually. Is Horatio going to get ahead of Slapstream here? No, he doesn't. Slots into P4, so Horatio's gambles kind of paid off, but Slapstream's still come out ahead of him. So little Greavy, Magfire, Matty Pitt, RDJ, Max GT, Vargas, Nem Vidic, the Nuts, Shug's Life, and no, Shug's Life isn't, but everybody else in the pits. Yeah, so those guys coming into the pits here at the end of lap 7. We got Corey Smith, otherwise known as Smithy, otherwise known as Bean Basher there, saying RDJ and Foul, come on boys, my dark fruit is cheering for you. Good to know you're going for that Strongbow dark fruit. Always a very, very strong choice in that department. But safety car here on lap 7. Uldrik Avvist is looking in a good position at the moment, game for life. With his qualifying, obviously he was in P9, but he's picked his way through the pack on the more durable tyre. My question now is that these guys behind him have put fresh tyres on. Is he going to be a sitting duck, do you reckon?
No, I don't think so. He's going to be faster, like 4 laps than the other, because they're still like new. But the medium tires, of course, make faster the longer they drive. So
that is true.
Time pit, he's going to be like, so either do two pit stops or one go on the hards. And the thing is, you don't want to go for an undercut, because you lose a lot of time on the pit.
Yes. Oh, absolutely, you really do, because the thing is, it's quite a long pit lane here, and the speed that you're going down the start finish straight makes it a big compromise. When you the Martin has just left the session there, so I don't know exactly what's happened there, but he's clearly had some kind of either connection issue, or he's not been happy with something in regards to the car, or maybe the tyres. I don't know exactly what the situation is regarding the Martin, as that was a big hiccup, but yeah, I don't know what's happened there, but the Nuts has retired from the session here on lap 8 of 36, almost a quarter of the way into this race. And it's been a dramatic Brazilian Grand Prix here on the Co-Masters Formula 1 game on the PlayStation 4 and 5 here at Motive for the final round of the season here for Season 2. And yeah, it's been very, very interesting, to say the least. But Uldrik Avvist leading the race on these medium tyres. Derby Bay, his soft tyres are going to not have much time left on those. They're going to be pretty much at the end of their sell-by date very shortly, as Shugslife and Falgest have both picked up penalties for crashing into each other under the safety car. Mr. Basil and Little Greavy have got corner cut penalties. All safety cars coming in this lap, so that's not good for these two, because they might have damage on the cars. Hopefully they don't.
Something that was oh, 50 seconds more.
Maybe we should yeah, I don't know. But Aldrich Avis leads as they come around the final corner as Horatio and Johan briefly swap positions there. Johan would have had to relinquish that pretty quickly in order to not get a penalty. But down towards turn 1 we come here on the restart. Aldrich Avis, Derby Base, Slapstream, Horatio, Johan Raki, Mr. Basil, Little Greavy, Magfire, Matty Pitt completing the top 10, followed by Nemvidic in 11th place. And Falgest looking down the inside here of Nemvidic as they're coming through the S's. In the end, backs out of that one. He goes very wide there. There's Falgest and isn't able to complete the position. There's Max GT, the Creve, Red Nas, the Mutt starts, Aussie Albie, Shugs Life and RDJ both in the pits at the end of the safety car period. Not the time when you want to be coming into the pits, that is absolutely sure. But we see here Joam trying to make the move on Derby Bay down the inside of turn 5, manages to complete that move there. Now can pull up onto the back of Slapstream. So Joam there on his fresh soft tyres, really going quickly, and Aldrich Avis will need to try and break away on these worn out medium tyres, because Joam is going to be a lot quicker at this stage in the race. How long can Slapstream keep Joam behind him, and how much pace has Aldrich Avis got on those medium tyres to try and keep himself reasonably quick? As we see Little Greavy making a move there on Mr. Basil up into P7, Mr. Basil down to P8 there. As we can see, Falgus has lost a couple positions down to P14. He's lost out to Max GT and the Grieve here on this first safety car restart lap. But Aldrich Avis and Slapstream currently separated by just over a second as they come into the line to complete lap 9. We see Joam now making a move on Slapstream. Down towards turn 1 they come, and Joam gets that done on the brakes up into P2. Derby Bay there running in 4th place ahead of Horatio in 5th. Then Raki, Little Greavy, the Mr. Basil, Magfire, Matty Pitt completing the top 10. The Grieve pretty close to the back of Max GT. Falgus has dropped off at the back of these guys. He's now 3 seconds adrift in 14th position currently in this race. As we see Little Greavy there making a move down the inside of Raki coming up towards turn 4. And he's completed that move very nicely there. Little Greavy up into 6th place here in this race. The Grieve still pretty close to the back of Max GT. Still can't get ahead of him as RDJ's made the move on Aussie Albie. Aussie Albie's into pits. That's why that's happened. But at the moment, Aldrich Avis and Joam separated by 7/10. Joam's got ahead of Slapstream and can now focus his attention on his big rival over the last few races. To be honest, these two have always been pretty close in the reckoning, Aldrich Avis and Joam, and right now they're separated by half a second out on the track. So Joam will be looking to try and put him under as much pressure as he can, as quickly as he can. And Mr. Basil has made the move up into P7 ahead of Raki, and we see there Horatio trying to make the move here on Little Greavy, but Little Greavy's still just about clinging on to that 5th place at this point. Magfire within 0.2 of a second of Raki, still no DRS this time around. It'll be enabled on the next lap. Joam fastest lap of the race now within 0.3 of a second of Aldrich Avis, and he will get DRS coming out of the this part of the track, and he'll get DRS here as he's now within 0.2 of a second. We see there we've got Mr. Basil dropping down the order. I don't know what's happened to Mr. Basil, but Joam still he's making a move here down the inside of Aldrich Avis. Is he going to make this stick? I think he is. Joam there moves himself into the lead. Aldrich Avis can have the inside for the next corner though. Is he going to try and chuck one down the inside? No, he's not. Joam goes a little bit wide, but Joam does complete that move up into the lead of the race. As we see Falgus now on the hard tyres, is going to try and go to the end from here, I would imagine. RDJ in the system McLaren has done exactly the same thing. Aussie Albie now up into 17th place as a result of those two dropping down. We've seen Nemvidic has made the move up into the final points playing position. Oh, bit of contact there between Nemvidic and the Grieve, and Nemvidic comes off worse there, loses out to Max GT. Oh no! What's he doing? Oh, what's he doing? Sorry. What's going on there? Oh no! No, 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 no. Oh no, it's fine, I'll let him off because I'm nice. Right, Magfire running in 7th place within 0.2 of a second of Horatio. Coming down towards the first corner, he's going to have a look, trying to go down the inside. No, he can't do it at the moment. So Horatio's still holding on to that 6th place for the time being. Oh, we see Rednas up into 12th place ahead of Nemvidic. Nemvidic into the pits, Mr. Basil as well. So those guys coming in. Joam though out in front, leads the race by over a second ahead of Aldrich Avis. Slapstream there running just behind. Magfire there in 6th place has got ahead of Horatio. Emo guy in the comments there says, yo Andy, your boy just got F1 2021. Yes boy! Love Emo Guy used to race with us here on F1. Races with us on ACC at Motive, and also used to do the comms as well with us. Great to see Emo Guy in the comments section. Absolutely delighted to see, as we can see, position changes left, right, and centre at the moment. RDJ getting ahead of the Mutts Nuts. I think that might be the Mutts Nuts' AI in. I think he did leave the session. I haven't seen him re-enter, so I would assume he's still not here. So again, mate. Yeah, he is. Look at this. They're going side by side down the start finish straight, and Little Greavy slots around the outside up into 4th place. As you see, Matty Pitt. Oh, he's going to make the move here. Matty Pitt moves himself into P7 there, ahead of Horatio. As we got Max just ahead of Raki, and Raki's just ahead of the Grieve at the moment. Falguest is pretty close on the back of Nembidic at this point in time. Absolutely, here he's going to try and get. Oh, see how he's wide onto the grass a little bit, and Nembidic and Falguest just behind here as they're now coming out on the last corner out onto the start finish. And look at that, Aussie Albie is going all sorts of out of shape around that corner. We now see Nembidic coming into the pits, and Aussie Albie follows him in there. Is Aussie Albie going to try and put the hard tyres on and go to the end, do we think, from here? Gotta be a shout. Joe Amno breaking away on the soft tyres. Aldrich Avist on the mediums. I think Joram and Aldrich Avist are both in a position here where they need to pit again. Aldrich Avist, maybe if he's really kind to these tyres, could maybe stretch them to lap 19, maybe do 17 laps. It's not a really for a particularly high tyre deg circuit. I would have thought that maybe. Yeah. I'm speculating here as to sort of how long he can go on these tyres, and maybe what sort of stint Joram can do on his soft tyres. I reckon both of them are probably going to need to come into the pits in the next sort of 5-6 laps or so. So I reckon maybe we could be seeing Joram and Aldrich first. Pardon me, that was a hiccup. Both doing a medium stint from about lap 18 onwards. Pardon me, that was another hiccup. But maybe they could be doing a medium stint from lap 18 or 19 onwards to the end of the race. I don't know. Could be a shout. But we see Max GT currently on the back of Horatio at the moment, 7/10 of a second separating these two in 8th and 9th positions at this particular moment in time. We've got Mr. Basil within 0.3 of a second, and then Vidic at this point as they're now coming down the back straight down towards turn 4. Rear wing wide open here for Mr. Basil. He's going to get a bit of closing speed. He'll get that advantage, but no crumpet is buttered at this particular point. Slapstream still running pretty close to the back of Aldrich Avist as they come down towards turn 4, and he's now looking to make that move. Is he going to get this done? Aldrich's trying to hold it around the outside, and Slapstream not able to get anything done there. These two all the time losing time to the race leader Joram. Yeah, indeed, there around the outside of turn 4 up into 8th place. Nicely done there. Max GT ahead of Horatio. Mr. Basil's got ahead of Nemvidic up into 16th place here in this race, and we've got a virtual safety car. I wonder why. I wonder what this one's for. Wow, well, safety cars, virtual safety cars, stoppages, yellow flags, left, right and centre here tonight. It's been absolute chaos here at Motive for the Brazilian Grand Prix for the final round of the Formula 1 season on the PlayStation 4 and 5 here on the Codemasters Formula 1 game here. And Season 2, we're rounding it out here in this Brazilian Grand Prix. Joram, obviously the champion of the Formula 1 League, as we've said many times over the last 5-6 races or so. But I want to just say, while we're on the VSC, a big congratulations to Joram and to Raki as well, his dad and teammate in Red Bull, for winning the Constructors' Championship. We see a lot of drivers at the moment coming into the pits to make the most of this VSC. Joram, Derby Bay, the Grieve, Raki included. Max GT's got a drive through for speeding under the VSC. So he obviously jumped the gun a little bit there as the VSC was ending. He probably thought, right, let's go for it. Let's pedal to the metal, let's go. And unfortunately went a little bit too early. As we see there, Derby Bay coming out just behind Redness there on the track. Redness coming out in 9th place there, as we've got double waved yellow flags through August into 17th place. Yeah, I think Falgas there had a bit of a oh no, let's stop watching him, let's stop putting the curse on him, let's not put him under any more pressure and try and force him into a mistake, because that's not very nice. Derby Bay running in 10th place, just under 0.2 of a second behind Rednas at this point. Joram currently running pretty close to the back of Matty Pitt. Joram, it's going to be closest to whether or not Joram can go to the end from here. I've got to say, it might be a bit tight. Who knows? He's going to be making a move around the outside of Matty Pitt up into 5th place, and Falgas out of the race. Falgas has crashed out here. I don't know where he is or whereabouts the incident has occurred, but Falgas is out of this race, and we got a full safety car. The safety car has been deployed here at Interlagos here in Brazil for the final round of this Formula 1 season. The safety car is out. We're not even halfway through the race, and we've already had 3. Is it 2 or 3? I can't remember, to be fair. We've got another safety car here though.
Yeah, this is a good chance for
So we see Iraqi there continuing to race around the track. We've got Rednas in the pits at this particular moment in time. We've got in fact no, he's actually exiting the pits, so he's currently being released out of the pit lane at this particular moment. You see the safety car there parked up on the entry to turn 4 at this exact precise moment. We see Oldrich, the race leader, just coming out of the last corner out onto the start finish straight, so I wonder whereabouts he's going to... he's coming into the pits, so he's making the most, trying to get a free pit stop whilst he can. And Snapstream there following him in, as does Little Greavy there, slowing it down to the pit limiter, and in he comes. RDJ's picked up a drive-through penalty. Ozzy Albi was disqualified for receiving multiple penalties. What a shame there for him, as we see Oldrich, Snapstream, Little Greavy, Magfire, Matty Pitt, Horatio stays out. Matty Pitt coming into the pits, as does Max GT. Yeah, I think Oldrich has got to pit again. He's 100% got to pit again. He can't stay out to the end of the race from here, no chance. Absolutely, but looks as though RDJ's out of the race. He's obviously retired from the session. I'm not sure exactly what's occurred there with RDJ, but he's clearly had a moment of some sort out there, and he has DNF'd from this race, as we're half distance here in the Brazilian Grand Prix for the final round of the Formula 1 here at Motive on the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 here on the Codemasters Formula 1 game. And we're just coming out of the last corner, still on the safety car for at least one more lap here in this race. So yeah, that is the story currently at this exact moment in time.
There has been anyone who was having a puncture just one people.
Say again?
There hasn't been anyone who has gotten a puncture for those people.
A puncture?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think you can get them with the settings that we run.
Oh.
Yeah, I can't imagine that that they're enabled with what we run, because yeah, no, I don't think that's possible to get with the settings. But safety cars coming in that race control does confirm. So Joram will be the man to get this underway once again. Aldrich Avis on soft tyres though. It's going to be really difficult for him to get those to the end. I think he's almost definitely going to have to come in between now and the end of the race. Is Aldrich Avis gambling on is he relying on having to get himself ahead of Joram and try and pull the gap and maybe do one more stop between now and the end of the race? We'll have to wait and see on that one. He needs to go a lot faster in the final part of the race though. Yeah, he needs to pull out, a second lap. As we see Shug's Life dropping down a little bit, but Joram leads into turn 1. Aldrich Avis there is just ghosted through one of the back markers. We see Slapstream there in 3rd place, followed by Little Greavy, Magfire the Grieve, Matty Pitt, Max GT. As we see Matty Pitt there losing out to Max GT around the outside of turn 3, up into 7th place here in this race.
Too wide. I have seen a lot of drivers who haven't given each other space to corner 4. And then like the people on the inside have been pushed into the wall. Or not into the wall, but no.
Definitely. I think they were getting rubbed up against the wall a little bit, yeah. Definitely getting squeezed and encouraged.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we see Redness there having a good little scrap here with Shug's Life. Shug's Life goes down the inside there over the final corner, goes a little bit wide there on the exit though, and that allows Redness back up into 11th place. As a result, can Shug's Life maybe get the run here coming down the start finish straight and get himself the immediate revenge, eye for an eye, blow for a blow, and get himself back into that position? He has a look down the inside there, but no, Redness holds on for the time being. Horatio in the pits. Absolutely, Horatio in the pits. So as we see, Aldrich. Sorry, mate. Yeah, I took a while there to catch up with you there. Yeah, Joram there holding on, but Aldrich on those soft tyres. Thing is though, Game for Life, he needs to do it quickly because he's got the better tyres, but they're less durable. He needs to be able to make the most of that tyre advantage, and right now Joram's doing exactly what he needs to do. He's just holding him at bay for as long as he possibly can, buying himself time in this battle for the lead. As we see Redness and Shug's Life battling this out. Shug's Life has come out on top for the time being, but Redness come out on top, but Shug's Life back down the inside. Oh, just a Hamilton on Albon there, and oh no, Redness loses it. Shug's Life was aggressive, but to be fair, I think it was hard but fair. Redness loses it out of the next corner. Mr. Basil is the benefactor in that one, up into 12th place in this race. Aldrich still on the back of Joram. Is he going to make this work? No DRS down the start finish. He will get it down this part of the track as he now gets himself ahead. And look at that, Joram there getting a horrible run coming through the centre S's, but now Slapstream, it's got DRS on Aldrich Avis. So Aldrich Avis has had to work really hard to get himself ahead of one driver. Now he's got to deal with another down the inside up into turn 4. Slapstream takes the lead here on his medium tyres. Aldrich Avis, just as he thought he was in the clear, gets shot back down to earth with a big bang there, and we see Redness there. It's got himself up into 11th place ahead of Max GT, who's just coming out of the pits now. The Muttnuts there running in 13th position in this race. I believe that's Muttnuts' AI there. Mr. Basil coming to the end of the pit lane. Yeah, it looks like Aldrich Avis is trying to complete that move, but Slapstream once again running him out of road, not giving him any quarter there, and Slapstream back up into the lead of this race for the time being at this particular exact moment in precisely time, at this moment in time. But, absolutely, indeed. As we see here, Slapstream and Aldrich Avis side by side. Oh, Aldrich Avis squeezing through the pit wall there. It's just going to look to make this move down the inside in towards turn 1. Aldrich Avis and Slapstream very, very close as Aldrich Avis gets himself back up into that P1 once again. Yeah, it looks as though Joram's going to be very, very close to the back of Slapstream here. But Aldrich Avis has finally got that lead, and now he needs to make the most of these soft tyres because they've got the much more better grip, but obviously they're less durable, so he needs to really milk these while he can and make the most of the grip that they've got, as we see Magfire just squeezing around little Greavy up into 4th place there, as the Grieve in the background of this in 6th place. Not really too many other battles going on. Derby Bay's on the back of Raki, battling it out over 8th and 9th places here in this race, but Ultra Cavris leads the race ahead of Slapstream at the moment. These two pretty close.
I'm going to win from the outside, but I've seen a lot of people have been, they have nothing weight in their ears, and they overtake Raki.
Derby Bay around the outside of Raki here, up into 8th place, down the start finish straight they come. Yeah, I think you definitely a bit of track limits going on, but I thought we had strict corner cutting on, but maybe not.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe.
I think I forgot to do it.
Yeah. There's been a lot of drivers who have gotten penalties from even when it's not safety car. If I remember.
I think a lot of the drivers who got penalties under the safety car ended up leaving the race though.
Yeah.
So it obviously doesn't show up because they obviously ended their race, and all of their results and what they got up to throughout the course of this race is effectively wiped and completely void. It's like it never happened. It all disappears completely off of the record in terms of the race, so we can't see how many penalties they picked up or anything like that, because it's all as if it never happened effectively. But we see Mr. Basil getting himself up into 13th place there, making the move on the Mutz Nuts. Mutz Nuts is AI, I will hasten to add. Yeah, Joe, I'm having a little feint to the inside in towards turn 4, and Slapstream can't get it done. Magfire just ahead of Little Greavy here in 4th and 5th places. There's the Grieve. Matty Pitt running in 7th place, still just ahead of Derby Bay. These two having a great little battle here for 7th place, but Derby Bay not close enough coming in towards the end of the DRS zone. Raki there running in 9th place ahead of Shug's Life. A couple of seconds back in 10th place, 7 seconds further back to Rednas running in 11th place here. Currently in this race we see Mr. No, that's a lap car, I do apologise. A lap car there just behind Max GT, a long way back to Mr. Basil running in 30th place, followed by the Mutz Nuts' AI, Horatio. No, that is him in the car. Making a move there on Mutz Nuts' AI up into 14th place. Nemvedich a long way behind, I think that's his AI as well. But Joe, I'm pretty close to the back of Slapstream here. This is the battle for 2nd place. We've been watching this one unfold for a little while now, and we see Joe, I'm getting ever closer as he's not quite within range coming in towards turn 1, but he might get another shot at it. Let's see if he can get DRS coming down the back straight. We see W Bay absolutely, you're right there, Game for Life getting himself into 7th place ahead of Matty Pitt. What can Joram do coming down towards turn 4 for the time being, tucked in behind Little Greavy within 2/10 of Magfire, can't get it done, but Derby Bay making a move down Matty Pitt up into 7th place. The Grieve running in no man's land at the moment, 3 seconds behind Little Greavy. Derby Bay a further 4.5 seconds back, so he's all by himself, just chilling out, just vibing, doing his own thing there in P6.
In a good position for the half.
Yeah, it's still good points, 8 championship points for a P6, so I'm sure he's not going to be too majorly disappointed with that.
Especially after last week.
Absolutely, but we see Ultra Cavris here coming out of the last corner. He's about to commence with his 27th lap of a 36 lap race distance here for Motives Brazilian Grand Prix here, the final round of the Formula 1s on the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 here on the Codemasters Formula 1 game. Big twitch there as he came into the S's. Oh, it's Joe, I'm spun.
No, Max.
Oh, Max, sorry. Max GT, what's happened to Max GT? Oh dear. He's dropped well off at the back of Rednas now. He's 7 seconds behind him. Those hard tyres not working for Max at the moment. Little Greavy's very close to the back of Magfire, but turn 4 comes just in time there for Magfire. Joam still can't make the move on Slapstream. He's been pushing him over the last few laps, but cannot duff butter any crumpets at this particular stage in this race.
I think Snapstream is very aggressive in its handling, especially when it comes to turn 4.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right.
Because as I talked about people pushing the people on the inside into the wall, I have seen Snapstream doing that very, um, very often this way. So it might be that might be the reason they are not being able to overtake.
Yeah, I think it's at the moment. I think Joram doesn't seem to have the speed down the straights to get it done. You know, he always seems to run high downforce setups, doesn't he? Does Joram? Every race, we always see he lacks a bit of straight line speed. He's so nailed down through the corners, but then the straights he does seem to struggle. Magpie is still running just ahead of Little Greavy at the moment. These two separated by 3/10. Further 3 seconds back to the Grieve. Running in P6, you've got Derby Bay in 7th place. Further 4 seconds off at the back of the Grieve. Then a second further back to Matty Pitt. 5 seconds further back to Raki running in 9th place, who's very close to, with Shugs Live. Shugs all over Raki here, coming through turn 5. As now Shugs looking to the outside of Raki, or looking all over him, looking to try and probe and push him for any weaknesses, any signs that he might be about to crack under the pressure, try and entice him into making a mistake, putting temptation in his path and trying to force him to do something that he wouldn't otherwise do. In the meantime, Snapstream running in 2nd place, 4/10 ahead of Joram at this particular point in the race. We've got Magpie within, has got 3/10 of a second back to Little Greavy, and then Vidic is out of the race. What a shame. And we've got a safety car here with 7 laps left to go here at Interlagos, and this is now a big moment. Who comes into the pits and makes that free pit stop? Aldrich Avis leads the race by 3 seconds on soft tyres, which are going to go off any minute now. This is pretty good for Aldrich Avis here. This is what he would have needed. This is what he would have wanted. It gives him an opportunity to come in.
I think the top 3 is for
Yeah, I think you're right. Aldrich Avis, this could not have gone much better for Aldrich Avis here, to be honest.
Yes. I think unless Slash really get on top of it, I think oh wait, if the top 3 all pick, then Alan is first after the race, which Gerber second and Slash probably third. But if only Alan after this, I think Gerber maybe wins. Slash does have that advantage on the same time, that's it. But I don't know. Yeah,
Well, look at this. Little Greavy's staying out though. Little Greavy's staying out on the track, so he's taking a gamble here, going for track position, maybe hoping the safety car stays out for as long as possible here. Aldrich Avis, Slapstream, Joram, Magpie, the Grieve, Derby Bay, Matty Pitt all in the pits at this particular point.
This couldn't have gotten back before. I saw a clip from Aldrich just now when Magpire blocked his sign up.
Did he send it in on the Discord server from qualifying?
Yeah, on the 4 So that might be a penalty for. Like,
Yeah, I think the game's supposed to sort of hand those out, but it tends not to. But to be honest, we kind of...
Yeah, I don't think it does that in the game. I think it's like more when you touch them. Because I was doing an outlap and my team.
So there's no penalty on this game for ignoring blue flags.
I don't think it's blue flags. I don't know really, but no, I don't think so. You don't get a penalty for blocking flying laps, which is very stupid.
I don't know. I never race this game. I drive on project cars, and I've done a bit of driving on ACC. I've taken part in a couple of races on ACC and league races. I managed to finish second to Javier Rance once at Suzuka in the GT4s. That's my greatest achievement on ACC in terms of league racing. I drive a few races at Monza, online races on Monza. You know, just open lobbies on ACC around Monza GT3s, because I used to do that on project cars, and it's my kind of happy place. It makes me feel happy, so I do that sometimes. But you know, my claim to fame on ACC is the GT4 race at Suzuka, where I came in second place to Javier Rans. That's like my greatest achievement in sim racing, because that guy is just an alien. So I consider that a win. But no, I only really play project cars, and I play ACC once, you know, every once in a blue moon. So I never played this game really, so I don't really know much about it.
Yeah, I haven't really gotten on my playing laps this season. I haven't really been dropped on my playing laps. I most of the time went out when it's mostly like 3 people out. But one time in Russia, I think, my teammate break when both of us was on an outlap. I didn't know his own break, so I went in back of him, and then I got a 5-grid penalty.
Sometimes it's easy to get caught out, isn't it? People try and catch you out. You know, they try and put the temptation in your path. They try and trick you into doing things that, you know, otherwise you wouldn't do, unless they were trying to trip you up. And you know, ultimately that's the things that really mess you up. But yeah, no, I know exactly what you mean, mate. I can fully relate to that.
Yeah, me and DJ Phil had a bit of we had a little bit of a fight in my first season. On the curves on like the last corner in Brazil, he drove into me. I lost the car and crashed. Fortunately, I didn't crash out of the race, but yeah. So.
But it's one of those tricky ones, isn't it? It's I know what you mean. We see Shug's Life there. He seems to have got ahead of Derby Bay and Matty Pitt. What's happening with Shug's Life here? He's passing everybody under the safety car. I don't quite know what Shug's Life is doing here. He's picked up a drive-through for going a long time before the actual green flag was waved. So Shug's Life is making up his own rules here. And if it was up to me, I wouldn't do anything because I'm a nice guy, but you know.
Yeah. Either get not disqualified, but either he's probably going to be not. He went straight into the wall. What is he doing?
I'm not sure what's going on here. It's absolute chaos.
And Joel, what's happened to him?
What's happened to Joel? Joel has been disqualified. Joel has been disqualified. He's doing donuts. He's doing donuts. He's doing donuts. Oh, the champion of the F1 League. He said it before. He said it in the build-up to this race. He was going to do some donuts. I thought he was going to wait until the last lap. He's gone and done them with 4 laps left in this race. So Joel there jumping the gun a little bit, doing donuts way before the end. Obviously himself and his dad and teammate Raki in the Red Bull are both the Constructors Champions for this season here at Motive. We see Slapstream getting ahead of Little Greavy up into second place. Can Slapstream try and chase down Aldrich Avist, or is Aldrich Avist going to be given free rein to go and take this victory here in the final race of the season? Little Greavy still sticking to the back of Slapstream, and the Grieve Magpie pretty close. In fact, the whole pack pretty tightly bunched here. The top 7 running within basically 2 seconds. Not 2 seconds, that's actually a lie. It's actually about 3.5 seconds, but you know, they're pretty tightly packed up at the moment, and this could be anyone's race here. They've broken away a little bit from Max GT running 8th place. Raki there a further second off of the back of Max GT. Got Red Nas Horatio and the Mutts Nuts' AI has done 26 laps on those hard tyres, so fair play. But just over 2 laps left to go here at Interlagos for the Brazilian Grand Prix here at Motive on the PlayStation 4 and 5 on the Codemasters Formula 1 game in these 50% online races. Yeah, the Grieve has spun. What has happened there to the Grieve? He's had a major moment there, and he's down to 9th place here in this race. Not what he would have needed, wanted, desired or hoped for or dreamed of before the start of this race, but we see Slapstream has done the fastest lap of the race, and we also see now that the Grieve and Red Nas separated by not very much at all as they come down towards turn 1. But Red Nas backs out at that one behind the Grieve for the particular time being in this moment of time in this race. But Aldrich Avist still out in front, got a 1.4 second lead over Slapstream. The Grieve running in 3rd place has got Magfire and Derby Bay in hot pursuit, and Matty Pitt there running in 6th place. These 4 guys separated by about 2 seconds. We see Horatio has made the move on Red Nas up into the final podium spot. Oh, did he spin? Oh yeah, oh, Red Nas has had a big moment there. He's lost it coming through turn 4. He gets all out of shape there. He's got it back going once again, but he's lost out on a potential points paying position here. What a shame there for him. As we can see, Aldrich Avist has managed to pull out a bit of a gap here to Slapstream. He's got over 1.6 seconds. Little Greavy has got heavy pressure on his back for the final podium spot here. We got Magfire, Derby Bay, Matty Pitt pretty close, also Max GT sticking to the back of these guys reasonably well. Raki a further couple of seconds behind in 8th place. The Grieve there on the back of Raki. You got Horatio in P10. Magfire has got ahead of Little Greavy. Little Greavy's lost out to both of them here, so Magfire and Derby Bay up into 3rd and 4th respectively. Derby Bay are looking to try and make it 2 moves in the space of a couple of corners. Oh, he cuts the inside of the center axis there. Derby Bay all over the place. Magfire holding on the inside for turn 3 as we now see Little Greavy trying to get back involved in this once again, but Derby Bay and Magfire side by side down towards turn 4. What is going to happen here? We see Derby Bay trying to go late on the brakes. Magfire pushes him out. Verstappen-esque there, and Magfire gets himself back up into P3, and now Little Greavy follows him through up into 4th place. Magfire very aggressive there as they came onto the brakes, but he gets to P3 as a result. Is he going to hold on for the rest of this final lap? As Derby Bay trying to do a Hamilton on Albon there on Little Greavy, can't get it done, and that's given Magfire just a moment to regroup. Max GT getting himself into P6 out of Matty Pitt here. Oh, what a dramatic final lap this is as we see Max throwing one down the inside of Derby Bay, but Aldrich Avist is coming out at the final corner out of Junksel up towards the checkered flag here at Brazil. He's going to win the final race of the season here at Motive on the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 here on the Codemasters Formula 1 game. Aldrich Avist comes up towards the line to take the Brazilian Grand Prix win. What a great drive from Aldrich Avist. Slapstream comes over to take a second place here in this race. Magfire is going to complete the podium after that very aggressive move into turn 4 ahead of Derby Bay. Derby Bay holds on for P4 ahead of Little Greavy. Max GT 6th, followed by Matty Pitt 7th, then the Greavy in 8th, Horatio 9th, Raki 10th. Red Nas is going to come around to complete the race in 11th place due to the late safety car. The pack all very bunched up here at the end. Mutts Nuts will finish this in 12th place, and that is all she wrote for the race. Aldrich Avist, this man here, your race winner for the final race of the season. Great driving from Aldrich Avist. Shame that Magpie got driver of the day. I don't think the game picked up that it was a bit of a reckless move, but wow, what a race there that we had here for the final race of the season. And that is that then. That's your lot here at Motive. Thanks everyone. It's been fun. It's been great.
When was the next
yeah, if you want to get involved, go to www.motiveracing.com, sign up to the new season, and we'll see you guys in the new year. Thanks very much.